Welcome to the Mountain Gardener with Ken Lane. Gardening in the mountains is different. Listen to Ken's tips, tricks, and garden shortcuts guaranteed to make your gardens more beautiful than ever this year. Now for better advice that works locally, welcome your host, Ken Lane.
So you folks from the Midwest, the eastern parts of the country, colder climates. So Minnesota's, the Ohio's, the Connecticut's, the Maryland's. You're used to fall is for planting. Best time to plant trees is in the autumn. Now's the time. It's the same here. So we're very much like that. So we can get cold. We've got definite 4 seasons. And so this is a very good time to plant. Autumn. With that being said, we're so mild. This is the mildest 4-season climate you'll find in the country, and still have all the wildflowers, all the lilacs, spring bloomings. These things need 4 seasons to really thrive and shine and show off. And we've got it. The beauty of having a milder winter is you can plant year round. So we don't have 8-foot frost lines like Wisconsin, which you can't dig. It's impossible. Here we can. And so the ground never truly freezes solid. So you can keep planting. What that does for us is now we can buy an evergreen. Let's say you've got a new house and they need to add to the landscape, or man, the leaves dropped off my maples, the aspens, and now it just looks terrible. I need something out there. You can easily, and it's a tradition that's been happening for decades. People will buy a evergreen tree, let's say a spruce tree, a pine tree. I even sold one last week. I sold a fruit tree to a customer. They want a fruit tree. They're going to use it as a Christmas tree, basically, and then they're going to go plant it afterwards. So it gets interesting what people use, but traditionally, pine, spruce, fir, junipers, all your traditional evergreen plants, they are brought indoors, used for the present underneath them or whatever your holiday tradition is. And then when it's all done, they bring them back outdoors and they plant them, and they will thrive. They'll do just fine with that. You are allowed to plant. We plant year round because it's so mild. So landscapers are going to be installing landscapes right through winter. And so it'll be kind of a mix of more evergreeny kind of things, because the landscapes, I mean, we've basically filled the garden center up with evergreen kind of stuff. Yeah, we might be able to find a lilac for you, but those are coming in January. We start to bring the spring bloomers in after the holidays are over. So right now it's focused on holiday plants. So that's going to be your Colorado spruce. Or if it says spruce, many times if it's got a name, we've got Baccarat spruce, baby blue spruce, Alberta spruce. What they are, they're all cousins, but they have different looks to them. Might be they're a little shorter, squattier, fuller, thicker, more shapely, more layered, more blue, more green. But spruce tree do really, really well up here. Of course, we've got Spruce Mountain you could walk to right here in Prescott, Arizona, and then all the ridge lines have spruce on them. So you know they're going to thrive. Same with the pine trees. We have the largest grove of ponderosa pines in the world. So it's right here. It goes right through here. And so you know this is the place for pine trees. And so Austrian pines, Bosnian pines, if it has a pine in it, you're probably good to go. Go ahead and plant those. And it's fine to plant them when it's cool out. It's fine. If you're going to use them as a holiday tree, though, you can bring it in, celebrate, and open presents, and do your traditional family thing. We recommend don't bring them indoors more than 2 weeks at most. These are outdoor plants. They like to be cold. And what happens is when you bring them indoors, they start to activate. They're going, oh, must be spring. I'm going to start pushing off new growth now. It's time to wake up. So the sap starts flowing and they start to wake up. You don't want them waking up. And so you want to keep them in their dormant stage. If it's a large spruce tree, a large pine tree, large big spruce, or a juniper fruit tree, if it's going to be large, they dry out faster. They wake up faster. So they really shouldn't be in the indoors more than 7-10 days, something like that. So the bigger they are, the shorter distance, more time they should be indoors because they start to wake up. Also, they don't like the warmth. They don't want to be 68 degrees in your living room. They want to be 20 degrees outdoors at night. That's what they're happy with. That's what they're used to. And so when they're in there, they dry out kind of quickly if they're indoors. So keep them away from your registries, from that furnace draft. Keep them away from the fireplace, from the pellet stove. Keep them out where it's cooler. Keep the room a little cooler. Add a humidifier. But you can do this. You can have a living tree. It's not cut. So if a tree's got no roots, it's dead. I don't care. You'll hear all kinds of myths of people going, "Oh, you can go dig a hole and it'll root out for you." That's a lie. That's the internet. You can't believe everything that you read. So, but if it's got a root to it, it can live, especially if it's for this elevation, this climate. So you can have those Austrian pines, Oregon green pines. You can have baby blue spruce, Alberta spruce. I talked to my daughter. She lives in an apartment. She's on the fast track for a retailer out in Texas. And I go, "Honey, you don't need a big Christmas tree. You don't need a artificial tree. Baggage to schlep around with you from apartment to apartment as you open up new stores. Just why don't you get a small living Christmas tree, put it on a table, enjoy it, have the fest, dress it up, and then you can donate it to someone, or just it's small enough you can just throw it away. Think of it like a poinsettia. Just use it for the season, and these are not puppy dogs. These are just plants. They don't realize their time is done. So you can just use it for a season and be done. But go with smaller, less investment, easier." And she goes, "That's a great idea. I'm going to do that." And so that's for us. If you need more landscaping out in the yard, I need to block my neighbors. They are in my face. The houses are too close here. Every time I sit on the back patio and watch a sunset, they're eating dinner right there, and we look at each other. Plant a tree. That's perfect place for a pine tree. Perfect place for fast-growing Colorado spruce. Perfect place for junipers. So put something out there, use it for the holiday, and then go plant it. We've got a handout that'll show you exactly how to do it. It's basically dig the hole wide, dig it not that deep, add a bag of mulch, and water it a couple times a month. That's it. There's a transition period. If you're bringing it from outdoors to indoors, you kind of want to keep it next to your house or under a patio, or bring it outdoors so it gets used to the cold. But let it adjust, let it acclimate. So we do it. So it takes a few days for it to acclimate back to the cold, and you keep it there for maybe 5-7 days. Then you go plant it. If you don't want to use it indoors, just go plant it and decorate it. Enjoy it. Put a Santa and sleigh out there and just enjoy the holidays. So this is when your evergreens, if you don't have enough of them, you know it, because those deciduous plants, a birch tree, it's lost its leaves. The raywood ash totally looks, you hardly see it out there. So now is this is a good time to spot, where do I need more evergreens? That's a good time to plant it. It's a good time to design, where do I put those in? But we do see a definite moving away from cut Christmas trees and then moving towards living Christmas trees. We used to sell a couple thousand cut Christmas trees back in the 90s, early 2000s, when it was really popular. It's kind of lost its favor. There's some sustainability issues. People just don't want the hassle. They don't want the fire hazard. And quite honestly, the Chinese plastic trees have taken over. But if you need more landscape, try a living tree. It really does work. We've got families that have had on their 10th or 15th. It's like, oh, there they are again. They're going to do another tree. Do you have enough room for all these? So you can do this. So living Christmas trees, there's a way to make them thrive and grow. And you're going to set the stage for next spring's burst of new growth. It's a great time to plant living evergreen trees now for next spring's fabulous new growth. Okay, we got more in store for you. Don't go anywhere. Be right back right after this. Okay, maybe after the same white elephant exchange, it's time to start a new holiday tradition.
A living Christmas tree from Watters Garden Center can be decorated and enjoyed for a lifetime, not just a season.
When the holiday festivities end, gather family and friends and plant your tree together for years of enjoyment. Guaranteed.
As your family tree grows, have a tree grow with your family from Watters Garden Center in Prescott. You're listening to local garden expert Ken Lane, the owner of Watters Garden Center. He can be found throughout the week at Watters Garden Center, located in Prescott at 1815 Iron Springs Road. Thanks for tuning in to The Mountain Gardener.